Yeah.
You are a son of a bitch.
Un saluto a tutti.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to La Vecchia Signora. And right now, it is insane out there. It's a war zone. It's a war zone over the sacking of Massimiliano Allegri. Obviously, we were finding out about what was going to come down on the live show after the Coppa Italia victory. But now that it's had some time to kind of settle and everything, we're going to kind of look at it. But now the shift is to Giuntoli, and that's what we're really noticing out there right now, is that it's shifted to management, it's shifted to the club, it's shifted on to Giuntoli. But we're going to kind of talk it all step by step. Today, I'm joined by Omer and Joey Cappuccino. Fellas, pleasure to see you this fine Saturday morning here. All right, how are you guys doing? You guys ready to rock?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
I just want to know. I want to know who wrote the script for the last few days. That's all that I want to know, because it's been insane. It's been great, but it's been insane.
Has to be Scorsese, right?
It's wild.
Somebody like that.
It is
Tarantino with
wild.
the bloodbath going on in the boardroom right now, probably.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's pretty crazy out there. We got a lot of feelings out there, and it goes from a new era finally begins. You hear from Trim changing from the previous regime to the current one that still needs to be put in place. And then you have Apex coming in here. I'm glad Max stopped him, Giuntoli, from celebrating with the team. What did he contribute to the Coppa win? The Weah signing, the Bremer release clause, or the anti-Max bullshit he was leaking to the media? So, and this is where we get to, okay? So it's pretty intense. And the media thing, like, what was he leaking stuff to the media? And I'm really not going to get into the media, because the media is a special beast in Italy, okay? But before we really kick things off, guys, reminder, like the video while you're dropping in here, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, share the content, okay? And look at all the members in this chat, all right? So obviously join up as a member. So many gifted last time. And a reminder to all of you members, guys picking up memberships now, reach out to us on any of our socials. Let's get you tapped into the private WhatsApp group chat, okay? Now, you guys, Joe, we haven't heard from you. Omer and I were obviously on the live post Coppa Italia and whatnot, so we were getting the news that it was going to be done. They weren't going to allow Allegri to see the season out. I want to get your thoughts overall at that point and how you were feeling, what you were thinking.
I mean, I thought that it was going to happen regardless. You know, if he got the Coppa win or if he lost, I think that he was going to be gone. With everything that had happened, I think we're going to talk about it a little bit more in depth, Allegri's reaction and all of the drama that unfolded afterwards. It just gave the management that much more of an out or an excuse to let him go. So it's just like, I'm not entirely surprised, but no, I loved the win. I loved seeing the passion in the team again. It made me wonder. I was like, where has this been the last few games? Like, where was that drive? Where was that fire?
Yeah.
And that was the biggest question mark for me out of all of that. Like, take Allegri out of that equation, and it just made me wonder, like, where was this team mentally for the last 4 months? Like, where was that?
And that's how this kind of all ties in with this Allegri decision and everything, because, there was a picture being painted that, and we were all thinking it. I was definitely thinking it. I was definitely very vocal about saying this team doesn't collapse like this without something happening, something bigger behind the scenes. Is this dust up between Giuntoli and Allegri? Did the players know? Did anybody know? Did they find out that it was all over, because that is a picture that's trying to be painted. I fail to believe that they knew at that point in time when this collapse started that it was over. I fail to believe it. And I went back, I looked at what Giuntoli was saying throughout that period of time, and he was consistent at that time. And I know because it was driving everybody crazy, because he said, yeah, we have no problems with our manager. Season's going great. We're going to sit down at season's end and we'll discuss the future. That's all he was saying. And the majority still wanted Allegri out despite we were doing good. And we were close to Inter and everything. So there's no way that all of a sudden got leaked or anything like that. Not for me anyways. Are you guys buying that?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
The whole Giuntoli leaking media, that doesn't track in my mind.
Yeah.
No, that
I'm
sounds
not
like
putting
speculation.
I'm not putting this whole collapse on an Allegri Giuntoli thing. I'm not really putting it down to that. I'm really not. In terms of Allegri and just this whole situation and the team, should they have waited it out, Joe? Because you didn't really answer that portion of the... Should they have waited it out and just seen him out?
I mean, I can see both perspectives. I've seen a lot of people talking about just that one portion of this whole drama, if you want to call it that. Like, he should get a proper send-off and a proper farewell. It's just 2 games. And then the other camp, I guess, would be, his reaction was unacceptable, very unprofessional. There needs to be, repercussions for those actions. And, I guess the other part to that would be they were probably going to sack him at the end of the season anyway. What's 2 extra games, So, in my opinion, it doesn't, to me, it does not really matter. The last 2 games of the season do not matter whatsoever. We're just seeing out the rest of the season, whether it's Allegri there or Montero or whoever. It really does not matter. I think mostly it's Max went out the way that he chose to go out.
Yeah.
And I proper send off, whatever. We're beyond that at this point. Like that's all like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like razzle dazzle.
It could have been much worse, and I'll get to that. It could have been much worse. But Omer, a couple days removed now, and now getting the official announcement after we were hearing it live, and it was hard to kind of just wrap our heads around all the feelings because there's so many layers to this, which we will get into. But have you kind of changed? Do you think any differently? Should Juventus have waited?
No. Why does it matter? I don't get why it matters. Okay, let me ask you a question. What is Allegri being fired for his performances this season, or is it the past 3 seasons that he's getting fired?
The main reason he's getting fired for me is because the new regime wants somebody different, and they wanted somebody different from the start.
Fine. So we're getting what we are asking for. We asked for a new sporting director. We got one, a good one, and we wanted to give him the keys to run his project. Allegri wasn't part of his project, and he had to wait 1 more year, maybe 2, because of the contract and everything. But that wasn't his vision. So that's what we asked for, and we've been asking for Max to be sacked since February, March, and now it's too early.
Yeah.
I don't get why. I mean, I don't think just Giuntoli has anything to do with it, with the way it turned out. I mean, Max kicking stuff and threatening reporters, that's a difference. That has nothing to do with Giuntoli.
Well, here's my thing. Like, it happened now because of Max, not because of the club. So everybody that's now turning on the club for doing this 2 days, it's like you've waited this long. Just wait those 2 games. Give them a send-off in the stadium. But you know what? I have a lot of I see both parties. I can understand. Max made his move. That was his choice. I have a question for everybody on the live. I have a question for you two gentlemen. If Max drew the line at once he got sent off, if he came back and stopped there and just celebrated the trophy, he didn't have to say anything to Giuntoli. He could have ignored him and just done his thing with the players and everything. He didn't have to go into the tunnel after it was all done and utter threats to Guido, grab him by the wrist physically, start smashing walls, lights, whatever the hell went down that only that we heard about. If he left it at what he did with the officials and everything like that, do you think he would have still been sacked?
I think he would have.
Do you?
Because I think it's coming from Elkan, and I think that's a red line that the club is trying to implement and bring back. That was Juve back to the glory days. No one is above the club's law, and some of the club laws are not. Does not include threatening reporters and losing your shit out like that in public. Doesn't matter if you're a manager, a player, a ball boy, or whatever you do. You can't act like that. So Max get to live as the hero, sort of, winning the trophy.
I believe if he left it with the officials, I believe if he left it at what happened during the game with the officials and everything, they wouldn't have done it. I believe they wouldn't have done it.
I think so. Yeah. That reaction just gave management an better.
Everything in the tunnel
because it was going to happen.
Everything in the tunnel afterwards talks about lawyers getting involved. Everything, like, you bring that on. I mean, that's the ticket they were waiting for. That's the ticket they were waiting for. And yes, looming behind it all, again, stemming back to the decision last summer that was made, in my mind, without a shadow of doubt, financially to keep him. And I will repeat, before Giuntoli even came in, it was decided Allegri is staying, okay? And that he came into it, and that's the guy that's here. And if it was made by a decision solely because of financial reasons, that's not a good business relationship. That's just not going to work, okay? And there's so many thoughts about this. And I understand feeling that empathy for Max because he has always fought the fight for Juventus. And he fought the fight for Juventus in that Coppa Italia final with the officials, which was a joke. However, it turned into a personal score settling. And that's when you turned it negatively towards the club. And some saw it as a disrespect, etc. There's a respect factor here that Max Allegri spoke quite clearly about that we'll bring up in a bit. But the media, this is what the media feeds everybody and just keeps firing everybody up. The Mercato in January, where he made his decisions and his calls. He wanted Bonaventura, he wanted Pereira. I went back.
Thank God he didn't get those guys.
I went back and I looked at that. Bonaventura was frozen by Fiorentina, according to Nico Schira. Juventus apparently tried and was working to bring him in. Pereira, also from the top guys, Juve inquired. They wanted 4 million euros. Now, this one is a little bit strange because they wanted 4 million euros apparently for Pereira. And we said no. But we did end up loaning Alcaraz for like 3.9 million pounds, which is weird. That one was weird to me. So maybe you could say didn't get the guys he wanted. Max was in a panic because of Rabiot's injury, because of problems there in the midfield getting light. But Rabiot missed like 3 games with that foot problem. McKennie missed like 2. through his shoulder thing or whatever. So you had the same team running strongly in the first half, and in the second half, 2 wins out of 17 games just doesn't fly at Juve and should never fly ever. You know, because I've been very vocal about where I stand, that I see Max, I see his line of sight. I get why he did it. But that's a decision he made. Juve made theirs, and I could see that one too. Why can't we leave it at that? He's still a legend. He still goes down as one of our best coaches ever. He's left us with iconic moments. He even left us in the final with another classic, iconic Max moment in Dove Rocky. Beautiful. Trophy added as well. Done. But now we have a fan base that I see a lot starting to turn on the club. I've seen some things out there where there are posts ridiculing the club now over values, over standards, over all of these things, and ridiculing them about cooking books and all this last season, when it's the same fans that were fighting for the club last season. And now we've turned over any one man. For me, that doesn't fly. It doesn't fly. And the funny thing about it all is the management that got dismantled there last season because of it was the same management that brought Max Allegri in the first place. So it's a little bit contradicting to ridicule the club and the people that were in power at that time because of Max Allegri when they're the same people that put him in power. How do you guys feel about the fans kind of turning and ridiculing the club?
I think it's redundant. You know why? Because, well, the three of us, anyone that is close to our age, we've already lived this scenario once. And how do you remember Lippi now? Yeah, so second tenure wasn't as good as the first one.
Was not
and
as good.
Fired. Yeah, it was fired at the end of a season, finishing fourth, getting who knocked us out, Deportivo La Coruña out of the Champions League. And fine, how do you remember?
Though, I think.
Yeah, did we bicker and fight? No, they should keep him because of what he did in his first tenure and blah, blah, blah. We remember him, we've all called him in the last show our favorite manager ever. Allegri will be remembered as a great manager for what he has achieved, and when time passes, everyone will forget how awful the second stint was. And I don't worry for Allegri's sake and for his name.
Yeah.
I'll remember him fondly.
And
well said. Well said.
It makes you think, too, throughout this season, like, Giuntoli and Allegri, if there was these issues and everything, we've questioned a lot some of the, lineup decisions? How are guys continuously getting starts when not rewarding for performances? Was that a part of it? Because Giuntoli's been labeled by some of the fans out there to have sabotaged Juventus through that mercato by not fueling Max. And I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see him sabotaging Juventus. But did Max make a point to purposely not play Giallo? Because Giuntoli, that's all one of the guys he brought in. And Alcaraz not getting a ton of minutes because that's all he ended up getting. So he ended up flooding us with just those guys to make a statement. That would not be the first time a manager has done something like that to make a stand against upper management, that this is all I have to work with. Does anybody think that maybe that's a possibility? Like, the whole situation, all I'm trying to say, it was ugly. It was always going to be ugly. I don't know. It
was always going to be like that, because if Giuntoli walks around Continassa with the idea in his head of bringing in a new coach and Max is completely oblivious and he's sure he's going to stay, then eventually, that balloon's going to pop and someone's going to find out. So it was never going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
and it happened. It couldn't have happened any other way.
The goodbyes are tough because even with the ones where we tried, it never felt enough. You know what I mean? And then like when you get some like this, it's very difficult. But like I just I can't help but feeling like Max ultimately made his decision. Like nobody told him, "Hey, go out, flip
Oh,
your
100%.
shit, flip your shit."
100%.
Like nobody told him to go out and do that. You know?
No.
And I
Well, I
fail to
loved it
believe
though.
that if he didn't stop at the officials, he wouldn't have been allowed that final send off at the stadium and everything. Now, what I am hearing today is that there is going to be something. I don't know if it's going to happen on the away game, but the remaining home game, there should be something for Max coming from the fans, which, again, no problems with. I still say it, no matter how it's gone down. Massive, massive respect for Max Allegri. But this is another one of the things I want to point at. You know, if they did it last season, we would have probably looked even worse after all he handled, all he dealt with, and then
Oh,
getting rid of it.
yeah.
But I've been in those shoes on both sides of it as an employee and as management in takeovers. And it's ugly. And most employees expect that the new ownership that comes in is going to look for their people in key roles. It's expected. It's expected. And you don't know what's going to go down. And you can make a choice. You have a choice to how you're going to react. Some of the people, they were like, you know what? I'm starting to look. I'm starting to look around at other jobs. I'm starting to figure out what I need to do. There were others that were like, well, I'm going to ride it out. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to put my head down. I'm just going to work. Everybody has a choice. For Max Allegri, this notion that like it was all a surprise or whatever, and like, oh, you know, he had to find out through media. You didn't have to find out through media, Max. Okay? They held job interviews last summer. You stuck around, you know, like it's not a surprise. Max is a very, very smart individual. Okay? He knew. He knew. Now
Of course he
Giuntoli
knew.
catching all this heat. How do you guys feel about all the heat Giuntoli is catching? We've heard Apex saying that, oh, he shouldn't be part of the celebrations. I have no problems with Max doing that. Giuntoli's been called a rat by some of the fans out there. This crazy, crazy, just controversial exit for Allegri has caused a lot of turn on Giuntoli. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm like, welcome to Serie A. I mean that's part of the league, that drama and everything. That's why I love the league, because it's never boring. And so yeah, just another, something we look back and laugh at in a few years. I don't think it's such a big deal. Max knew he was gone, and long before that game, and that's how it ended. I mean, someone eventually needed to have the balls to do that.
Yeah.
Whether it's Giuntoli or
Mhm.
not, it doesn't matter. Someone from management, but Max was gone either way.
Yeah. Joe,
Yeah.
what
No.
do you think about this turning on Giuntoli?
Like for what reason exactly? It's like I don't quite understand what he has to do with all of this aside from just being, part of the management of the club. Like he didn't make Max do anything. Um, although I do understand why Max would like deliberately shun him from like the Copa celebrations. Like that was Max's like little team. That was Max's team. He wanted to keep it with the team. Like I get that, but that's his prerogative, and Giuntoli should, understand
Yeah.
that. I will say this: like if you're gonna fire someone, like, and it's the buck stops with you, like you're the guy making that decision. Don't hand it off to somebody else. Like it if Scanavino, I think, right, Scanavino was the guy who actually said, like, you're done, Max. Depending on how the hierarchy works, like if Giuntoli is higher than Scanavino, then I would have liked to have seen Giuntoli be the one to actually do that. That's a character kind of thing to do. Like, despite
Yeah.
all of that stuff, whatever, you need to have the balls to do that. Like, you want him gone, so do it. But calling Giuntoli a rat and all that stuff, like, unnecessary, and doesn't really hold any truth to it. I don't think he was trying to sabotage Max whatsoever. But like you alluded to, Al, like, this is what happens in regime changes, and it could get a lot uglier. It could have gotten a lot uglier had Allegri just been oblivious to everything. But I don't think that was the case.
Yeah. It's just interesting, like, I mean, Giuntoli was chosen and he was one of the top candidates out there at the time to come in and take the job. Alex P saying Giuntoli is shit until he proves otherwise. Why are we trying to make him the Messiah with zero contribution? There is no Messiah. Max Allegri was seen as a Messiah in his return. I saw him probably as a Messiah in his return. It's not the case. There are no Messiahs. To say Giuntoli is shit, though, no, he's not shit. He is just a man trying to do his job. He might do a shitty job at the end of it, but for me, it's far too early to tell one way or another. We have to wait. We have to wait and see what comes. But if we are going to put every single move this club makes under such a microscope, especially if it's a move that we saw coming, everyone saw coming for miles and miles away, and that everybody, almost everybody, said should have happened 2 months ago. We're never going to be happy, folks. We're never going to be happy if that's the case. Let's see what they're trying to actually, what his vision is, what he wants to do, where he sees the team going before we can actually call him shit. Right now, to say shit, it's still been financials, way too heavy a focus on financials for me still. Omer, you're going to weigh in on this before we get to kind of another one of the layers, the many, many layers in this whole thing.
I just want us to stop being prophets. We have no idea how it's going to turn out. We can't judge him based on what we think will happen by the end when it's all said and done. Changes happen all the time. It's fine. Let's wait and see. Obviously, he got like an impossible scenario. I mean, okay, I'll ask you two, what could he have done differently that would satisfy everyone who's saying he's shit because of what he has done so far?
I don't, for me, like, you guys know when that run started really getting in the thick of things, this terrible run, I was like, just cut the cord. Just cut the cord. There's no response from the team. The team's dead in the water on the pitch. 2 wins out of 17 games. Like, just cut the cord. And now that I see how it's kind of been behind the scenes and what Max has been holding on to and everything, it makes even more sense that it should have happened at that time. But it still would have probably hit a chord and said, well, shit, like, are we going to qualify for Champions League, whatever, like, let him fight it out, whatever. And this is why I struggle with everyone turning on Giuntoli in the club. Because Max's words were, it's about respect. It's about respect, it's about behavior, and it's about evaluation. And right there, in those 3 words, is where he loses my sympathy. That's where he loses my sympathy. Evaluation. 2 wins out of 17 games is never, ever acceptable under any goddamn circumstances at Juventus, period. No matter what, okay? Period. Behavior. Coppa Italia final behavior. Respect. How did Juventus disrespect Max? They waited. They could have easily said, fuck this. This is a nightmare 3 months ago. But they didn't. That's why I'm not buying into this media bullshit about, Giuntoli never supported him, never had it out for him the whole time, whatever. Bullshit. They could have cut the cord 3 months ago. Nobody would have batted an eye. They allowed him this finish. That Coppa Italia, that 5th record Coppa Italia for him, 15th for us, they could have easily said no. So I actually don't think they disrespected him. They allowed him to go out, and he chose to go out in a fucking blaze of glory, and a blaze of glory was that ever. I'm good with it. I'm good with the whole thing. But I just don't see that they've disrespected him.
I think the reaction we all see now on social media and everyone's opinions, I think that would have happened regardless. If we would have fired him back in February, 2 games to the end of the season, or by the end of the season. What we're seeing now, we would have seen no matter what. People hating on Giuntoli, hating that Max is gone because he has fans who want him to stay and think he's doing great, and that's they're entitled to think that way. So the reaction would have come regardless of when we would have fired Max. That's the feeling I get.
Yeah. Salcat saying they allowed him that finish because there was so much on the line, no viable option. They didn't do it out of the goodness of their hearts. One way or another, even if an interim came in, Champions League was at stake even with Max remaining. We won 2 games out of 17. That run could have easily seen us out of the Champions League.
If you qualified for the Champions League 3 games to the end of the season, you barely made it.
Yeah. And we didn't even do it on our terms.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I'm sorry. They allowed him the season. They were giving him the whole season the whole way through. Okay? They could have they got so much pressure from the fan base. I've seen it all. If you're a serious club, you would act now. Why are you letting it slide? You know, I was even saying, #stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
Like,
there was a lot of that.
There was a lot of that. If you're a big club, you don't let this go. But they did, one way or another, no matter what we call the reasons out for, Salcat. Whatever the reason was, they allowed that. And in turn, he got another trophy and another trophy for us. But it's crazy. It's just it's insane. What bothers me kind of the most is that a lot of us has been saying for quite some time Juve needs to kind of get that fucking spine back. You know? Like we kind of have to get our chest out a bit and make moves and make decisions. And for me, I'm just tired of us getting the bad look in every fucking situation, no matter what. You know? Like, especially for the decisions made by the employees. Pogba made a fucking decision we had no bearing on. We look bad for it. Fagioli, that's his decision. Another one we look bad for. Allegri makes this decision. Juve makes a move. We look bad for it. I'm tired of it. At the end of the day, somebody's got to put their fucking foot down at some point and just draw a line. And I saw Juve as saying, you know what? This is it. This is it. This is where we were heading. I'm drawing the line, you know? Now, for me, there are portions of it. It fucking sucks. And you know what? I don't like this. Apologizing to Rocky and Gravina, I don't like that. You know, that part does kind of bug me. We kind of got soft, but this goes into my next piece and layer about this whole thing. We need a fucking leader. Elkan is not him. He's not him. Okay? My daily update video, I told you guys how I felt. He spread out way too much corporately to be the guy. Scanavino and Ferraro are temps. Nothing more. Financial guys. They can have their place. We need a guy at the top. The one constant in this situation, it reminds me exactly of when Allegri left the first time. It really does. Because you have management this past summer that couldn't fucking make a decision. And we had 5 guys trying to make the call. And it was split 3-2. What happened with Allegri the last time, when the first time he got sacked? It was a split decision. Split decision, and you had 4 guys trying to make the call. Finally, they convinced Agnelli to make the move. We just need one fucking guy. One fucking guy that's going to say, you know what? This is what we're doing. We're standing to it, and we're going to go. And somebody that has actual, is going to re-identify this culture and cultivate it, and also just be consistent with it. But that's our biggest need for me. We have to get a guy at the top. You guys agree?
So you want like a Del Piero type?
I don't know who. I specifically state I don't know who that man is, but you need somebody.
Example. The
you
name
need
is just
somebody
an example.
above.
Yeah.
Yeah, the name
someone
is just
who knows
example.
the game.
Maybe someone doing, I don't know, whatever Nedved did, because apparently he had a saying. Yeah. We knew he was a true Juventino. He was the one who wanted Allegri out in the first place, and he convinced the others. So fine, he made the decision that Juventus were better off without Allegri. And so you want someone like that. I get it. I agree that it shouldn't be Elkan. The question is who?
I have no idea. I have no idea. There were shouts.
Nedved fits the bill again, but I don't think that he would be coming back after everything that happened.
You guys, I don't know who. All I'm saying is it has to happen. It has to happen. I can't watch Scanavino and that Panda Bear run around here like they're legit fucking, legit fucking football guys or anything like that. They're financial guys, and I don't want these guys making calls because we're losing sight of what's going on the pitch, which is the most important. Okay?
Wait, what happened with Calvo? Where has he disappeared?
Calvo is there, but he's like got a role that's just slightly, it's almost level with Giuntoli, basically.
Yeah, silently went silent. He was the only one who didn't comment on anything that happened. He wasn't at the final in the stands, on the pitch with the management when they won. Like, he sort of disappeared for me, like, for a month now.
Oh, yeah, a little bit longer than that, but like he's still very much behind the scenes, from what I gathered at the president's meeting too and everything. He's very much still there. It's just, again, and he's not the guy either, in my opinion.
No, he's not the guy.
Great
the question team. Is, were guys that were held back and not accepting this role because Allegri was at the club?
What's that?
Were there guys that didn't take the job because Allegri is still at the club, who have some sort of beef with him? Because I remember vividly something with Del Piero that he...
No, nothing with Max. Nothing with Max. Okay. It was, I know what you're talking about, and that was essentially rumors of a potential coach coming in that would prevent some of those ex-players from coming back into the fold. And I think it was ADP and Conte, if I remember correctly, that ADP wouldn't come in if Conte was brought in, something like that. But I also didn't really believe that one. But
weird politics.
Nonetheless,
stuff.
I stand firm. This team needs that guy at the top because I'm done with these group decisions and nobody just fucking growing a pair and saying this is what we're doing and we're moving forward. That's it. Out of this whole Allegri thing, I will say this. That statement from the club was pretty fucking cold. Like, regardless of how it goes down, all that, whatnot, it should have been a thank you. It should have had a lot more appreciation in there, especially after last season. Like, it didn't need to be literally a cold statement that, hey, we've relieved him of his duties. No. Thank you, Max, for everything. Okay? Due to the unfortunate events at the end, we have decided to part ways. But that statement, holy fuck. That was, whether I agree with them making the decision that they did, everything, like, that was pretty fucking harsh. You know?
It makes me believe it's been far worse than we even think it is backstage. Like the separation between management and Max, Giuntoli and Max, whatever. But it feels like things have been very bad for quite a while now. But I do believe they will issue like a proper send off with video on YouTube of all his greatest moments, and they will do something like that. But the first reaction, they could have done a little bit better there.
Yeah, like,
need the creator lab to make something, right?
Yeah,
Creator Lab's doing good work.
They are doing. I can't.
That Copa video was fucking sweet.
That was pretty great.
I'll tell you that.
Dude, I want to give them a huge credit. Juventus are pumping out content more than any other club in the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And now, again, more layers to this. Motta, more confirmations after everything that came down. However, there's rumblings. Saputo's making one last big push. And Motta has been very consistent in media, simply stating that, no, we're going to respect all parties involved and we'll meet. There's still a portion of the season remaining. So he's been stand up through the whole thing, never once disrespecting Bologna in any way, shape, or form. And now, through this whole situation and the handling of Max, let's peel back another layer, baby. We get to fans saying that why on earth would Motta jump in and come into this shit show in how we've dealt this whole thing. So before I even get into this at all, Omer or Joe, feel free to take your thoughts on that reaction.
Well, I'll make it simple because he's a young upcoming coach and we're Juventus.
Yeah.
That's really all that needs to be said in that respect. It's prestige and more opportunities than Bologna would give you. That's pretty obvious.
I'm even gonna go another level in the fact that we are literally walking away from like a legend and everything, and they've had you on their mind to be the guy after a guy like Max Allegri, no matter how it's gone. Like, yeah, there's other candidates available. We could easily go to a Conte, and Conte wants to come back. Like, the fact that Juve's choosing you, like, it's still a big thing in Italy. And I kind of see it like, of course, don't worry about the shit show and the mess that's there, whatever. We're still cleaning up a shit show from the previous regime. Like, it was going to get ugly. It got ugly with our roster. It sadly got ugly with a coach who's going to go down as a legend. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. I think, for Motta, no, there's no turning back after seeing this or whatever is going on. That's business. You don't think in all the years of Motta playing, he's seen some coaches go through some nasty goodbyes? You don't think he's seen some players go through some nasty goodbyes?
I'm sure you've seen some shit.
It's a part of the beast. So I'm fine with that. But Conte, we also have fans saying, because of the shit show that is here, Conte is the guy we 100% need. Agree, disagree, live chat. Joe, Omer, Is Conte the guy we need because of this shit show?
Joe.
I mean, if second stints are anything to go by, no. So it's like we got to try something different. I love Conte. I love the fire and passion that he brings. His brand of football is also like all right, that's fine. But I don't, like I said, if this second stint is anything to go by, we need to try and go into a different direction. And we know what we're going to get with Conte. There's always like I give it like a 2 year expiration date to how long he lasts at clubs. Like he'll complain that he's not getting the signings that he wants. Then there's a fallout with the management, and then he leaves. That's pretty much how it goes. So like that is not what we need right now. We need someone with like his passion and fire, but not with all of the baggage that comes with.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
by the way,
we've talked about in the green room. Conte is gonna rule Juve with that management. He's gonna do whatever the hell he wants.
I was literally, I was gonna get to that. First up, I want to wish Adam a big happy birthday. All right, everybody, wish him a happy birthday. Adam's birthday today, celebrating with many beautiful Swedish women, I'm sure. So have fun there, brother. Okay. We do have Rick Owsey, our friend. Juventus is a business, not a football club. I don't give a shit about a logo or the future. It's freaking now. Apologies, but we deserve more as fans. Powerful stuff there. I think like in terms of I mean, of course we deserve more, but we really also need to give them a chance to give us more. And after everything like that has happened, you just it doesn't get cleaned up so fast, right? But even in our shit, if we can pull like a Coppa Italia, whatnot, like it shows you we're not reaching the depths that even we have seen previously. Let's see what goes down. But Omer picked a point out that I brought up in the green room, and it was basically going back to what I was saying about having that guy at the top. Conte would literally chew up and spit this management team out. Like, without having that guy at the top, that figure, I don't think we're equipped for Conte regardless, to be honest. Like, Scanavino and Ferraro, what the hell are they going to do with this guy? No chance. Numbers, guys, Conte will destroy them. Send them home. He'll send that whole establishment home crying in a week. No. We're not equipped for it, to be honest. There's still some work to be done at there's still some work to be done at the top. And
honestly, I've had enough with the ping pong.
Conte,
Motta. We've decided it's Conte. Fine. It's Motta, sorry. We've already prepared for it. Everything. If it doesn't happen and Conte is the guy eventually, that's fine. That's a great option. But
please get some protection up at the top and bring in like a and you know what's funny?
I mean,
maybe it's just me why I'm so adamant about this, but I can't I can't get it out of my mind when I heard and this is an employee of the club speaking and saying that last season when the board left and when Agnelli left, okay, when it actually happened and he left, the void, he said, was insane. The amount of, like, you could visually see employees feel lost. Like, he was the guy. He was the presence. It was all around him. And it was just like the way he interacted with all the employees, the visionary that he was, the vibes, the confidence, the power, the fight, always being about Juventus. Like, he just like There is a clear void there now. They don't have that now. And I don't know. I think we need to find that guy. We got to start looking for that to also help things, because the culture was strong. Culture was strong.
Well, we'll see some new names that coming, to Giuntoli's team.
Yeah, but Giuntoli's not in charge of that position. It's ahead of him in the hierarchy. Like Elkan.
We'll see some new names.
So we will see. Now, in the wake of all this as well, Chiesa, it appears, that renewal could be done before the Euros. Still doesn't wrap up everything. Dusan Vlahovic, though, looking to remain. Look for some work to be done there on the contract. Rugani's extension set. Lower price. Thankfully, that's got to get work. We got some contract work to do and everything. But Juve's got work to do, everybody. We know that. We know that. It's just, it's getting ugly out there. And Giuntoli's taking heat. But I will say this. Now, he definitely is going to be under the microscope more.
Oh, yeah.
You can't escape it now.
He put that target on him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time. It was always going to be on him. Like, in all honesty, it was always going to be on him. Some fans have increased it with this Max Allegri thing. I'm kind of not there. I'm not there. It hasn't really increased. Right now, the only flag I see is that Bremer release clause. And I'm hoping that there's something there that I don't really know about or something. But let's wait and see there. But Giuntoli's definitely going to be under a microscope. Everyone at Juventus is going to be under the microscope. So does it all move to rainbows and butterflies if Thiago Motta signs on Monday? Or whenever the hell it's going to be, and all of a sudden we're moving forward? Is it all going to be? No. He is going to take heat immediately too. And that's the nature of the beast.
Oh, wait, you still have the calls to keep Montero that will be coming in 2 weeks. So mark those in your calendar.
Watch Montero go 4-3-3 and we just fucking light it up.
Yeah,
right.
That would be awesome.
That would be so...
Looking back at that roster from those times, he's like the last guy I thought I would see on the Juventus bench.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be cool just to even see it. Whatever, it's shitty the circumstances, but it's cool nonetheless. I've always loved Montero, growing up, and
he's an animal.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool even just for that. Whatever. I wish better circumstances.
For the memories.
Nonetheless. Massimiliano Allegri, the stats are out there. It's insane. I want to just get your guys' maybe your favorite Max moment before we get into Storm the Barn and everything, because we do got to show him love, because he's, Anth gets going sometimes, and he got going on the last show, and he said like some words about Max. I'm like, settle down, you could be upset about his actions, whatever, etc., or see him out and everything, but let's take it easy. There's choice words there used by Anth I didn't really agree with, because I'll always have a lot of respect for Max Allegri. But favorite Max moments. Omer, what's your favorite Allegri moment?
I have to think about it.
All right, Joe, do you have one teed up?
I got one because it's on the shirt.
Legendary.
That was like, the man could pump out quotes. Like, he was just very, very quotable, very good in a press conference, and you can't beat Cortobuso. Like, that was iconic, and it fit him so much. So, yeah, that's probably one of my favorites.
I'd almost make this last one kind of like the Dove Rocky, and just the tie, the fucking jacket. I thought the shirt was coming off when he started doing the buttons, undoing the buttons and going down the line there. I'm like, man, is he going tarps off? Is he going tarps off in this final?
I thought it was going Hulk Hogan, like he's going to
dude, it
Just
was
really.
like it was good. It was good for that. But even I'll tell you, like just always fighting the fight for Juve and whatnot. But the final one was epic. The final one was epic. It was probably the biggest, the baddest, and
Well, it was the ending of a legend. That's how you go out,
you know what? He's called
like
Mad Max,
in a
and he went
blaze of
out.
glory.
He went out
Yeah,
Mad Max, but I
He sure
think,
did.
yeah,
man, it's he's given us so much, so many quotes and everything, but all the times he loses it on the sideline, it was just it was good. It was good. Max had a lot of
yeah.
beauty moments.
That's the moment. When it happens, it's like Chiellini putting a band-aid on his head. That's Max throwing his jacket. That's his signature move. And you're
Football
that
heritage.
yeah, if you're that insane that you get to this level, then it's definitely iconic. I admire him for it. He's a very entertaining character in general.
I would go as far to say that honestly, like a good buy like that, like say what you want about walking
Yeah,
around the
like,
stadium, getting your handshakes and all that whatnot, but that
yeah,
was huge. That was a huge blaze of glory.
yeah, like fuck you, Gravina. I'm not doing that red card sentence ever. I'm
Yeah,
not going.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Massive respect, no matter how it
legend.
ends,
Yeah.
for Mad Max. Massive respect, a legend. But now we begin the next chapter. We'll see what that holds for Juventus. Storm the barn, fellas. You guys ready? Storm the barn?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Always, let's go.
Let's fire it up. If there was no foul on Danilo, would Max have done something similar still? I don't know, because that was the exact moment that triggered the whole thing. It was that foul in the area there when they got a volleyed shot that Perin had to stop. Like,
That was given eventually, so no reason to be angry. Um, but
well,
it was like a
that
boiling.
second
It was
half was beyond
Yeah,
atrocious
yeah,
from an official
yeah.
standpoint.
That was
Like
yeah.
garbage.
it was
That's
beyond
what I feel
atrocious.
like
So
would have happened if not there, then at someplace else, because he was just at
I
a pot of boiling. Just
yeah,
throw a little water on it and it will explode, no
it was
matter what
everything, man.
happens.
Like he wanted that one so bad, and you could see it. He wanted
Hmm.
it so bad. Max wanted that one so bad, and yeah, he let it all out. That's for damn sure. Guys, reminder: get the likes up. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, Adam, storm the barn. Favorite? Oh yeah, okay. We're getting into kit talk
Oh
here.
boy.
Favorite Juve kit: home, away, third. You can rank them if you want an order. Another question, just when we're talking about kits. What was your favorite badge? Are you talking sponsor? What do you mean badge?
No, the logo. I
Yeah,
Are
think
you
you mean.
saying logo
logo
or
is
you mean like sponsor? Come on, Adam. Jesus.
like our emblem.
Probably I'd
Mhm.
say our logo. Okay, so favorite
Yeah,
Juve. Let's go
we'll go
down
with
the
that.
line. Favorite home kit.
Ooh.
Uh, has to be an
I have the
iconic
most
one.
fond memories of the Kappa one from I believe '97 with the Sony mini disc on it. That just has a lot of memories for me.
Best
So that's
version of
probably my
Alessandro Del
favorite.
Piero for me. 97, 98. That is definitely one of my favorite home kits. And yeah, I'd probably pick it as my favorite home kit. Other
Hmm.
close ones, the 2006 Centenario
Mm,
celebration kit, fantastic kit. 2017-18 home kit, fantastic kit.
that's a good one.
And 15-16 was sharp too. Those
I like
Yeah, that was a good one.
14, 15. I like 14, 15, the first
14-15,
regular season.
it's a nice one.
Some of my favorites.
That's a
We
nice one.
actually had some great ones during the banter era,
Oh
unfortunately.
yeah. Away
Yeah, we
kit.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite away kit.
Oh, that's tough. We've had some really good
Well,
ones.
the pink one of the first Conte season.
15-16.
That was
No, first Conte season, 11, 12.
Oh, 11-12.
The one with the
Oh my
star.
God! No
Yeah,
way. Best
yeah,
away kit?
yeah. It's so ugly. I love it.
Mm,
The
it's
memories and everything. Yeah,
Oh
that was an
man.
awesome kit.
The best away
it's
kit's
I think
95, 96. Sony Blue
oh
Champions League
the
winner.
Stone yeah the Blue Champions
Easily.
League winner.
Easily.
It it's
Yeah.
either it's that one, it's the blue one from 14-15, or the pink one
Oh,
from
the black one with the iconic photo of Dybala, Morata,
oh
Quadrado. That was a
I
beautiful
forgot
one.
about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, with the gold trimming here
I
and
might.
everything.
I would go 95, 96 Champions League. I'd also throw in the 2012-13 black one with
Yeah, that was clean.
the Sul Campo and everything with the 3 stars. I'd probably throw that one in there. Those would be in my mix. Um, Cinque Maggio. Cinque Maggio away kit was
Yeah.
always a beauty. Um,
hmm
third kit. Third kit.
Third.
Okay. Then they had some ugly ones.
Third
Yeah,
kit.
Uh,
usually they don't put as much effort in
15,
on the third kit.
16
yeah.
black and gold. Probably my favorite.
Oh, so that's the one. I thought that was the away.
That's a third kit. The away one
That's
was
the
the
third.
pink one in 15, 16.
Oh, so that's the third. So yeah, that's the best. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that one's just so sick. So
That
that
one's
one for third.
yeah,
In
that one's
terms of
fire.
favorite logo, Joe?
I'm fond of the one. I'm fond of the one from the '90s the most. That one I like. The I'm trying to. I could describe it, but I'm not going to. I'll just say the one from like '96 on.
Yeah, my favorite was the one prior to the one we have now.
This one.
That was
Yeah,
a good. Yeah,
exactly.
it's a
Yeah,
beautiful one.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably pick this one, but I did love the one that was slightly altered right before this one that had all the guys I grew up with. That first one was nice. It was
hmm
nice too. But I would probably go with this one being the best one. Cleanest. I don't hate the new one though. I hated it at the start. I didn't hate it at the start, but I thought it needed more. It looks incomplete to me. But god damn it, you guys, on apparel, I get it. I get it on apparel. When you slap
Yeah,
that bitch on some apparel, I get it. I get it.
We're not a clothing company. Huh? I
Tell
don't
that
like it.
to
I don't
our
like it.
models like Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
Now, let's keep it rolling. Will management call back Max to show the Coppa Italia trophy in 2 weeks? You know what? I don't expect, but I would like to, like, he needs to come back at some point. You know, the guy's gonna be in the museum. He's gonna have a star. Like, he's got to come back at some point. But in 2 weeks' time, time heals all. But I don't know if time's quick enough to get over this one that
yeah.
fast.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't see
Yeah,
it. I don't see that
things
happening.
are things are at the boiling point right now. When everything settles down, emotions will change a bit, and they will call him back. I believe. I don't. Even if they do call him in 2 weeks, I don't think he'll show up anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really depends on how those meetings went and what was said, because you could still leave and everybody can understand that it's best for both parties, which I actually do believe this just is. Um, the thing with these things, when the takeovers happen and whatever and shit like this goes down, the optics kind of, they don't really matter. Ultimately, it's just everybody looking out for themselves and their best interest and whatever they believe that best interest is. So, but Max definitely has to be back at some point in time. So,
He will be.
only Nonch, Rabio, and Fajoli thanked Max on social media. Do you think that the other guys were happy he left her? That's not true, because Danilo did a big
No,
thing for him. Gatti did a big
Vlahovic.
thing for him. Um,
I think even Dusan
who
did.
else did?
I
There
think
was,
I think Dusan Miretti did.
yeah, there
Um,
was Fajoli. Oh, sorry, you did
And
mention Fajoli, but yeah, there was a bunch more that did it.
now I see one from Ildiz. He also posted
Yeah,
one.
so there's no doubt about it. He had all the guys on his side backing him and stuff like that, you know. But as players too, I mean, it's part of the
I
gig, man.
I don't
They,
like judging players by that metric of who posted what about what on social media.
I mean, but it tells the story. It does tell the story. Look at Sari when he
Yeah,
left. There was like two players that did it. That tells you a
yeah,
lot, you know?
yeah. He
Mm.
barely celebrated with them. That was
Yeah.
coming from both sides.
Yeah. So that tells you a lot, right? But no, he had a lot of guys coming around and putting the messages out for him. And to be honest, rightfully so, because I was waiting for more of these guys to come out and do it because for a while there was only a couple and I wasn't happy about it. And I'll tell you why. Because what I've said this entire time, I actually think one of Max's biggest faults was how easy he made it on so many of these guys. He took everything for the man. He was walking into press conference where we played like absolute dog shit, literally saying, "Oh, the boys played well today," and fucking
Yeah, he
taking
did do that
all
a
the
lot.
bullets. So if those guys didn't take 2 fucking seconds to write a post for this guy, I was gonna get really fucking upset. Like seriously, that guy took so much heat and protected them at every turn. I would have been pissed. You take 2 seconds out of your goddamn time and whatever. DeShilio, while you're lying on the bed at J Medical, fucking write a post up, okay? You bastard. Let's go.
Yeah, shoot, what a dance.
Davide, Juve, Milan, Napoli, Roma, Lazio, maybe Bologna, all looking for a new coach. What coaches do you think will go and where? Oh man, I'm excited about the coaching carousel that could go down at
Sheesh.
Juventus, or not just Juve, but like Serie A. Ah man, Conce Chow's an interesting one to watch, and
Yeah, but lately, and like yesterday, Fabrizio Romano and some other guys named Fonseca as actually the likely candidate for Milan right now, and that's good news for us, not so much for the league. But I've said it like a few shows ago. The direction Serie A is going now with the managers, it seems like good fits, and I think the league will benefit from it. I think it's on the rise right now.
I still think Italiano ends up at Napoli. I don't think it's Conte. I don't
Mm.
know.
Yeah,
It's just
No,
it's
it
I don't
tough.
seems
think
like
no.
Pioli. It seems like
I
Pioli now.
It could be.
I have a
It could
feeling
be.
Napoli's going to be getting Italiano. They tried last season and it just didn't work because Italiano said no, not right now. Milan, I actually think it will be Conte unless Juve and Malta falls through. And if that doesn't come to fruition, maybe Conte for us. De Rossi will stay at Roma.
De Rossi
Um,
and Tudor are going to stay.
I believe they'll stay. Bologna is an interesting one. I don't really know what's going on there.
I think if Italiano goes anywhere, it will be to Bologna.
Interesting. Maybe.
Hmm.
Maybe. I don't think Siri agrees, but that's
No,
okay.
Siri doesn't agree.
We'll see what happens.
Fucking barging in like that. No respect.
Fucking Siri. Come on,
I have
Siri.
something to say.
With Omer, we never know what we're going to get. You got damn peacocks, you got
Yeah,
Siri, you got who knows what's going on. Birds.
fucking
Thoughts
birds.
on Agnelli's dig at Juve with his latest tweet? Oh, that's right. So Agnelli kind of put his tweet out there.
Oh, I
Um,
missed it. What did it say?
I gotta
He's.
find it. Joe, do you have it
I'll
handy?
pull it up. I'll
Okay.
pull it up in a GIF.
And I mean, I, I guess it's how you take it, really. But where the hell is it?
So, all right, I found it.
Okay, go
He
ahead.
said, "An extraordinary, unique mix, pride and humanity that continually merge during a 10-year journey. Thanks, Max. Thanks to you, who represented being Juventus with every cell until the end. Fino alla fine." So I'm not exactly sure what the dig is
Yeah, I
exactly.
don't really know if it's a. because some not the like some people were saying, oh, a little bit of a dig there, a little bit of a slight, but like I guess maybe like you'd really have to perform some mental gymnastics, I think, though, to get a
Yeah,
dig
you
out of it,
gotta
though.
like explain it to me. Like, what's the dig? Like,
I think it's just
is
a
the
lot
humanity and
of
pride a
praise
dig?
for his guy, his boy. That's Max.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did spend a
And I
lot of
mean,
time with him. They were close friends.
say whatever you want, but Agnelli still loves the club. Like, despite everything, that's the one thing that you can say about him. So
Yeah,
it's like, what's the dig here?
yeah.
Oh,
I
and
even gave
Bremer
him
also just released a statement.
What's that?
Bremer just released
There we
a
go.
statement about
Yeah,
Allegri.
all these bastards should be. Come on, let's go. You protect the hell out of them. Now, storm the barn. Do you guys have anything? Do you guys want to talk about something? Did we not tackle something? I tell you what, it looks like Allegri's threats worked on Guido Vacciago because holy smokes, is he ever on the pole today, so to speak, for his reports there and everything. But yes, Vlahovic, Bremer, all of them coming in here now for Allegri. It's yeah, they all should, and Locatelli as well. Add him to the list. Yeah, there you go. But guys, storm the barn. You got anything?
Joe needs to have a
Hmm.
question.
I'm trying. I know I had something cooking, but I'm trying to remember what it was.
Moving
Um.
into this next phase. Okay,
Oh my God, this is going to be brutal. This
it's not
summer
going to
is
be
going to
brutal.
be.
We're starting a new chapter. We're getting a new coach, whoever the hell that may be. Where do we
Maybe
go?
it's the
Like,
cynic in me.
what are your expectations going to be put on? Does it change depending on the coach? Like if we got Motta or we got Conte, would your expectations change depending on which one of those guys came in? And I'm just using their names. Like it could be a different combination of coaches, but would your expectations change based on who the guy is, or is it the same no matter what? And what are you looking for?
I think it would be unfair to kind of, you know, attribute the same standards for the same guy. I don't think that that would like say we bring in Conte instead of Motta. Like it that wouldn't. I don't think that that would exactly be fair. Two different kinds of coaches, two different calibers of coaches. Um, so no, I wouldn't give the same expectations to Motta as I would to Conte. That being said, um, I want to see at least some sorts of improvements. Like if we bring Motta in, I want to see a little. I want to see faster passing for sure. Like I want to see crisper passing. I just want to see little improvements like that. Um, and I know I've been on the record on the show before saying like, oh, I'd give Motta at least 6 months and reevaluate, like see where we are. I'm not saying like fire the guy, but like let's take stock of like what's working, what isn't. Um, but 2 year contract that I feel like that would be the thing. 2 year contract for Mota, option for a third if things go well. That kind of
All
deal.
right. Omer, same question to you. Does it change depending on the manager?
Yeah, obviously, it's a question of salary, of experience. It's a road I'm willing to go through with Mota, and if it's Conte, then yeah, my expectations would be different because we know what Conte can bring, and if it doesn't bring that, then now he's being judged. And Mota is still pretty green in that aspect, so I want to see how he does in higher levels with many more matches than he had with Bologna during a season, and all the traveling and all the bigger caliber names, players who have bigger salaries than him. It's different ground to play in, but we know we need a process. I mean, it'll have to do really bad for me to say fire him by the end
Yeah.
of next season. I'm like going for minimum 2 years to like
Yeah.
see improvement and see if he gets who he's aiming for and the squad he wants to build along with Giuntoli. I mean, things can change like that, that
Yeah.
instant. One signing or one player leaving, and everything changes.
And I'm kind of thinking the same. Like I'm thinking like the expectations for me would be a little bit different based on the pay grade because that's just comes with the territory. If you're going to come in and you're going to demand a high wage, like I want to get to a point quicker than I would wait for somebody who's making significantly less to do so. But ultimately, it shouldn't. It shouldn't really matter. Alex P making the point of I'll make the expectations based on the mercado, depending on the mercado, because that is by far the biggest issue we currently have. I mean, the roster definitely needs work and whatnot, but from a coach coming in standpoint, no matter who you're given, we play a pretty broken brand of football. And yeah, quality will affect that too, but there like I need to see a team that doesn't hit this part of the season that has chemistry. Like there was nothing stopping this team from playing the way we did in the Coppa Italia final these past 17 games. There was nothing stopping this team from doing that. So
exactly,
a coach definitely bears the weight of that not happening for whatever reason. Like why the hell is that not happening? Figure it out. He even openly admitted and said, Caviglia is an intelligent lad. And he said, I should have used him much more. Yeah, you fucking should have. Fucking
Yeah,
100%. You
yeah.
know?
Ealing should have played more,
Illing should have played
a
more.
lot more. I mean, the starting 11 we saw at the Copa, those were the right choices.
Yeah.
Finally, how long
Yeah,
have we gone with the wrong choices?
He hung himself out to dry. And like I said, when we were talking about the whole thing with Giuntoli, maybe making a stand based on the guys, but like he hung himself on guys that weren't rewarding him. It's shitty. It's shitty. Tuna steaks.
Mhm.
What is more likely club for Max in the near future, Milan or Monza? Max and Galliani still friendly? Question mark. Uh,
hmm.
Milan return? I don't know. Hey, what was interesting though was that Skira right away. Hey, I don't know if you guys caught it. It was pretty subtle, but like immediately after everything kind of had been said, he goes, I think this was 2 hours, so not like immediately, but like very close to after all the news broke out. He said that a club in Champions League was contacted and Max was put forward to them and saying, hey, he's free
Hmm.
now. And he didn't say who or anything. He just said the club is a Champions League club. So very interesting whether or not it was in Italy even or not. But yeah,
Actually,
I had no idea.
the more interesting thing is they also said that two Italian clubs are interested in Kefren Turam. He didn't name the clubs,
Yeah,
but that came from Skira for a low price, the same price we saw, 15 to 20 million.
Yeah.
So Juve are looking into it. That's what I'm reading from it.
Oh, they should
they
at
got
that
to.
price tag.
They should.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Let's
Um,
see. Let's see. Alex B saying he wants to see Max outside of Italy. Let's see.
I mean,
Bologna.
he was learning English at one point.
Imagine
Yeah.
they switch Motta and Allegri.
Yeah, that would be funny,
Imagine
wouldn't
that
it?
switch. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Let's see what happens. But one thing's for sure, we could start looking for extensions and stuff to wrap up. I'm excited for the next chapter. I'm always going to be excited for the next chapter. I mean, um, yeah, it just it's tough because you
I'm
know,
excited for Monday. Like seeing Montero on the sideline, seeing it, it's been 3 years.
yeah, and there was a question if there was going to be a live. Yeah, we'll do a preview show for the game and everything. There won't be a watch along or anything for the games. I don't think I'll be able to do the remaining two games. We are going to do a year end show. Okay, we're going to try and get the entire cast together, have some fun on a panel, and do some things just to see the year out. We gave away another kit. Obviously tuna steaks. Congrats. Won a kit.
A
Pino
lot, a
won the
lot of
last one.
asked
That's
us, a lot of asked us if we are going to do shows during the Mercado and the Euros.
Oh
So
yeah.
Yeah,
we're going
Oh
recapping to these
yeah.
games and
we will
doing at
be there.
least a
We will
weekly
be there.
show.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
and
you
once we
got
start
Brandon
with the
asking when we
friendlies,
got time for how do you think Malta's tactics would work with us? I mean, it'll depend on obviously what Alex P was saying earlier, the Mercado too, and how we shape up, how we line up and everything. But as far as I mean, we're only a couple pieces away from playing how he plays now with Bologna. If he's trying to do the same thing, we're not terribly far off, but guys will definitely have to be more consistent. And we know that there are already a couple names. We've talked about it a lot that are going to be this is it. Max is gone. Like, so while we talked about Giuntoli kind of getting this highlight, well, there's going to be players that are under a fucking microscope, no doubt, next season. Like, no matter who the coach that comes in, and immediately to my mind is Locatelli.
Exactly. Yep.
Locatelli immediately. Like, there is no more hiding. There is no more anything. Like, now that this coach is gone, there are guys that are going to be at the forefront. Chiesa, if he remains, he is going to be at the forefront for me. Like, it's time to deliver. Even to some degree, even though he's got like a large portion of our goals and everything, like even Vlahovic, to be quite honest, like it's time to put up for these boys. Like,
yeah, it's been
let's go.
pretty easy. It's been pretty easy for them to shake off responsibility because there are guys who have been in the team for longer and they were like the senior guys for a long time. It was Bonucci and Chiellini and Sandro and and Rabiot. And when those guys are gone, Locatelli, Chiesa, Vlahovic, the guys who have been here 3 4 years, which is could be an eternity in today's football, at one club, they need to pick it up. They need to
Yeah,
man up and stop being the youngsters, the children, give him time, the low expectations. Now they need to be the main guys and drive the young ones forward. And
yeah,
that's what I'm expecting to see from them, especially Chiesa and Locatelli.
yeah. What if
Yep.
Mota makes Locatelli awesome? Thankfully, hopefully,
Great.
good, good.
Oh, we would
I'm
like nothing
dying on
more.
a friggin' hill here, believing on this guy. Alex, leave me alone, man. Leave me alone, all right? I believe in the guy, okay? I believe in the guy. I've seen it. We've all seen it. I just don't understand why it doesn't happen all the goddamn time. But leave me alone. I'll die on that hill, okay? I believe in the guy. But Loca, last season, that's it, man. That is it. But I still believe in this guy. I do.
Oh, another interesting tidbit, something that will be different in Serie A in general next season. The rule of signing foreign players outside of the EU are different now. You can still sign two per transfer market, but you don't need to have someone leaving. That will be new from the
Mm.
from next summer and onwards. So Juve can sign two, whatever Brazilian, Argentinian players, and not let anyone go.
In-
There you go.
Interesting.
Fix the
Mhm.
fucking offside rule. Okay? That's the
Yes.
rule
Yeah,
I
Thank
want
you.
fixed.
I'm not holding my breath.
I've been
Yeah.
screaming that from the
Okay, but
mountaintops.
but here's an interesting question. Here's my storm the barn. We've all seen what the Wolves have issued and the letter to the Premier League that they want to scrap VAR and teams are joining them. Would you scrap VAR in Serie A?
I'm at the point, and I said it earlier this season. I was like, if it's going to go down like this, and this is what's going to happen, I'd probably just say fuck it and let the guys go back to human error.
Because
Mm.
they had
I,
some
yeah.
compelling arguments in their letter. Wait, let me see if I can find it.
I remember that
Oh,
post, and
Omer's
I
looking
read
that
through
up.
it, and it was actually pretty good. Also, not to, I mean, you could put your tinfoil hat if you want, okay? It really makes no
Mhm.
difference to me, but it is statistically fucking impossible for us to go through an entire season and not get a call in our favor on like fucking that. Like it's
But here we are.
statistically fucking impossible, okay? And I'm not insinuating anything, but if you just happen to be wearing tinfoil on your head while I say this, hey, that's on you. But I'm just saying, statistically fucking impossible to play a whole season of football without one VAR ruling in your fucking favor. And I don't know how at the Coppa Italia final it doesn't go to it, but I don't know. I don't know.
This is actually something that I was talking with the Empire State fan club. You know, we're having a bunch of discussions about this, and I believe it was one of our members, Nick. He showed an article that FIFA is going to start implementing in the lower leagues, the idea of challenging VAR, and there's going to be 2 challengers per coach per game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's something that could remedy this. I'm not huge on the number of challenges. Like, I think it should just be one. Like, just give them one. Like, you see a call, like VAR doesn't look at it, you can challenge that, and then that's it. Like, if we're getting 4 challenges a game, like, that really will ruin the tempo of everything. And, like, you know, I can already see problems happening there. But
yeah.
I'd be happy with one. Maybe that's something that could sort of fix things a little bit. I don't want to turn this into American football or anything like that. But
I feel like there's just too much. There's just too much tweaking, too much looking for change.
There's also
it became the main focal point of every match, every final, everything is around the referees and VAR, and I kind of had enough. I just want to watch football. I don't want to analyze like I'm in court, having to decide if the goal should stand or not. I mean,
looking at the evidence over and over.
You know,
it's
impossible.
The auto offside, and I mean, when we're talking like that, it's like there's no fucking
garbage.
way you could time something like that and whatnot. So if you are gonna go to that, tweak the rule, make it. I've always been saying, you know what? If your torso is in line with that defender's torso, any piece of it, like, that is fine. That is a defender able to make a move or keep up with you or do something. That's it. Leave it like that. But this is crazy. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, soon football's going to be wrecked by AI. There you go.
Yeah.
Just let's stop. Too much change. Okay? Leave the game alone. But we'll see what happens. And the excitement, that's the part that kills me the most. When you get a goal, you're hyped up, you're jacked up, and it gets removed because of like a fucking toe or something like that. And you're like, are you serious?
Yeah. Something that went under the radar because the goal was cancelled, and my favorite moment of the final is Dušan's second goal celebration with the big balls that he did like that.
Oh, yeah.
Gesture to the audience. It was forgotten because the goal didn't stand. So that was my favorite moment of the final.
That was gold, man. The elephantitis, I call it, celebration there with them big balls. Fuck, that was good. That was hilarious. But I don't know. They just got to settle it down. But this wraps up the show, everybody. It's just been hot as hell out there on the club and everything. So it's nice to hash it out. It's nice to see how the Army's feeling. And then obviously Omer and myself have been a couple days removed. We see there's no real change in how we feel. We just see a guy who made a decision. And I think he went out the way he wanted to. He knew what he was doing. And then you have the club making a decision. I leave it at that. I don't blame or fault either parties. And I don't hold ill will to either parties. It's all about Juve. Bottom line. It's about Juve. And I think we all felt this had to happen one way or another for both. And clearly, after seeing this, it did need to happen. And if you were a Max supporter, I think you could see now, obviously, how broken it actually was, and it needed to happen. The thing in all of this that remains is no matter what, nobody can take away what Max did. Max always fought the fight for Juventus. I will always appreciate him. Grazie to Massimiliano Allegri. I am happy he brought us that last trophy in the farewell. Giuntoli and management, patience will be required. Has to be required. Okay? But yeah, he's going to go under a microscope, but he knows what it's all about. That's Juve. That's not going to change. So, we see. And it all starts very, very soon. The Mercato, we start to finally see what Giuntoli has in mind. And all I can think is the same thing over and over and over. Good luck and Godspeed. For fuck's sakes, let's get this thing rolling again, all right? Joe, closing thoughts? Omer, closing thoughts? As we sign off.
Remove the microscope. Throw it away. Look at the bigger picture. Stop analyzing. See the project. See what happens in the end, and then judge it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go. Joe?
Well said. Let's just enjoy the summer and close out the season. It's going to be a good summer. It's going to be a good summer.
There you go. Guys, get the likes up. All the members, reach out on our socials. Let's get you in the private group chat, all right? I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Juve back in action on Monday. We will give you a preview show. I'll keep you in touch on the news, building up to that one on daily updates, all right? And we may have a members-only show this weekend as well. As always, no matter what, through thick, through thin, none of it fucking matters. It's fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti. Take care.
Yeah.